Time. Mark, 15 seconds until airtime.
Oregon is going to the Final Four.
The following is a Learfield presentation of the Oregon Sports Network.
And Oregon is going to play in the national championship game.
It's time for Tip-Off Tuesday.
I love the five. I really like this group.
Richardson to the basket. Tough lay-in and one.
How wide open. Three is good.
Part of being a good leader is having guys that are willing to follow.
They compete. That's the one thing I've noticed. They get after each other.
Dante flush.
Indy top left. Three is good. Anthony Rogers.
What I really appreciate about them is they do want to just play.
And that's what happens when you bring it every day in practice. You become a disciplined, reliable player.
This is Tip-Off Tuesday on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield, presented by Toyota. Let's go places. Today's broadcast is also brought to you by Pepsi and Bigfoot Beverages. Go Ducks! Drink Pepsi. Let's talk Oregon Ducks basketball. From the Country Financial Studio, alongside Terry Jonz, here's Joey Mack.
We are changing seats today because I'm headed to the airport. That's what happens when the Ducks play on a Wednesday. A quick turnaround for Oregon men's basketball following a big win over Arizona. I don't know.
Okay.
But, yeah, there's 2 Wednesday games on the road for the Ducks this year, just the way that it worked out on the men's side. So a little bit of a quicker turnaround, and to be honest, I actually think that might be a benefit for Oregon men's basketball. Coming off a big win against Arizona keeps Oregon in the conversation for a postseason berth without having to win the Pac-12 tournament. It does keep you in the conversation. The margins are thin still, but picked up their 10th win of the year. They're now tied with Arizona, actually, a team that's top 15 in the net rankings in the Pac-12 standings. So it tells you now that Oregon men's basketball getting healthy, Jermaine Couisnard and Folly Dante having big games. A lot of good things trending in the right direction for Oregon men's basketball. On today's show, and Folly Dante and assistant coach Chuck Martin getting ready for the trip to the Bay Area. Meanwhile, the women, a split over the weekend.
Well, first that win over Arizona, that was fun. I just wish the broadcaster would get excited when in Folly dunks on what's his face.
I told Dante, I said this on Twitter and I mean it, and you'll hear it coming up. He made my job fun.
Yeah?
Thanks,
Yes,
Dante.
He did. Yes, he did. All right, the women. Rivalry game. One game this week as the Ducks go up to Corvallis.
Yeah.
Gill Coliseum, Ralph Miller Court, all of that. I was just looking here. I had forgotten. We were down by 1. The Ducks were down by 1 heading to the 4th.
That's right.
Outscored Oregon State 25-16 to win that by 8. And Chance Gray, who we're going to have on a little bit later, she hit a big shot down the stretch and saw this freshman is not afraid.
Yeah.
She's hit some big free throws in the last few games, too, in crunch time. When you need them, and it's no problem.
You know another freshman who hit big free throws when you needed them? Grace Van Sluten.
They were kind of big, weren't they?
Oh, my.
0.1 seconds.
Terry.
You needed him to tie it up after the fiasco with the clock.
Yeah, wild
stuff.
stuff.
You still stepped up and made it. And, of course, we'll hear from – we're renaming him the Big Kahuna, I think. I don't.
Is he good with that?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Coach Graves, let us know.
I guess I should. Yeah, let us know, KG. If you're not, we will stop right away. I promise.
You will.
I will. Oh, you. Okay.
I won't.
All right.
I like the name too much.
But we've got it all. It's going to be a fun show, and Joey's not the pilot.
I'm off to the airport like now to meet the basketball team.
What, you flying to Berkeley, Oakland Airport?
We are flying to the Bay Area.
Somewhere. You don't know. They haven't told you yet.
I don't know. I just get on the plane.
Yeah, win and just win. You don't know the where.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's probably safe that way.
I try.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Wear a mask.
Steer the ship.
Okay. Are we taking a break?
Yes.
You're
when we come back in Folly Dante. Awesome interview. You're not going to want to miss it on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Once a duck, always a duck. That's OCCU. Since 1956, OCCU has been the credit union serving the University of Oregon community. With remarkable checking, My OCCU mobile banking, and nationwide ATM access. If you're a duck, you belong at OCCU, where you'll find fewer fees, higher savings rates, and lower rates on loans. And lots of fellow Duck fans. Go Ducks. Join OCCU. Learn more at myoccu.org/remarkable.
Ready to get back in the game? Great news. The movement experts at Proactive Physical Therapy Specialists can help you find relief and results and keep you off the sidelines. With 16 convenient locations across Oregon and Southwest Washington. Contact Proactive Physical Therapy Specialists today at proactivepts.com to see a physical therapist. Proactive Physical Therapy Specialists, a proud partner of Oregon Athletics and trusted choice for keeping Duck fans in the game.
You're listening to Ducks basketball on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
We all want our kids to grow up safe and healthy, so we show them how. With honest conversations that let them know what we expect. That's especially important when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. And when it comes to pain medications, opioids, they need to know that they should never be shared with friends or family. For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov. We all make choices about alcohol. Kids make choices whether to drink or not.
Bye, Dad. Remember, I'm going to Alex's party tonight and sleeping over.
Hey, remind me about that party again?
And adults make choices whether to talk about it. That's true of parents and every other trusted adult in a kid's life. Kids want to know our expectations, and they want honest answers in everyday conversations. So talk with your kids and help lead them on a positive path, because when you talk, they hear you. Learn more at underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Back on Tip-Off Tuesday, presented by Toyota. We're in the Country Financial Studio. Joey Mack, Terry Jonz. Before I head to the airport, earlier today, sat down with both Infali Dante and assistant coach Chuck Martin. And, of course, that dunk was a lot of fun. Getting a win over Arizona's fun. A lot of fun things, and also some personal things about going home to Molly. We had a lot of things to say with Infali Dante. All right, first of all, you've made the trek across the river before class. We're talking Tuesday morning. Dante, thanks for being here, buddy. How are things? You good?
I'm doing great.
Yeah?
I'm doing great, you know.
Coming off a nice win. Let's just get this done early, okay? So I said on Twitter, and I mean this sincerely, thanks for making my job fun.
Oh, yeah, of course, man. You know, it's good to have you around all the time. It's
well,
great.
Thanks. I appreciate that. Okay, so let's walk fans through something here. So you've seen the highlight that our guy Carter put together. I'm sure you have.
Yeah.
We're going to play it for you again. So, I mean, this is amazing. Everyone just take a listen, take a watch. Into the lane, bounce pass, Dante, slam! Good find. Ducks steal it in transition. Dante to the bucket. What a poster slam! And Folly Dante. Okay. Intercepted in transition. How many times have you seen the clip now? And how many times have you gotten texts from people about it?
Man, I don't I don't even know. I still haven't responded. Some people, it's not like I don't want to respond, but like it's a lot of text. So,
that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Well, you deserve it. You had a play like that before? Like, have you had a dunk like that in a game before?
Not exactly like this, but yeah, I had some crazy ones, but not like that one for sure.
How, when you see the ball thrown ahead, when Krisa throws it and you grab it, what goes through your mind in that moment? Like, take us through the entire play if you could.
Well, first play they got dunked, and I was say I got dunked on. Yeah. So the guy who did it is from Mali, and I'm from Mali. I was like, you know what, whatever. Like I need to do to help my team win, I'm gonna do it.
Love that.
So after I dunk it, and then I try to get back in defense, and we was in the zone. So I saw him throw the ball. It's a long pass, and I decided to grab it, and then Will was in front of me. I was trying to pass it to Will, but the guy who passed it, it was really late. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just go for it. And then the person who passed it, I'm not a big fan of him.
Yeah, I know.
It's not, nah.
It's one of those plays that I was talking to somebody about this yesterday, Dante, that we will see that highlight up on the scoreboard at Matthew Knight Arena for years to come.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not kidding. Like you're gonna come back. You'll be playing professionally. You're gonna come back, and that highlight's gonna play as part of the intro video. So well done.
Yeah,
so thank you for that.
Yeah.
You know, Dante, what went so right in the game against Arizona? How were you guys able to play the way that you were?
Well, we played Thursday. We didn't give you everything we got, and then everybody was mad. I was mad, and my old teammate was like really mad about it. And then and I asked a couple of them like, well, and I asked them what we need to do different. They was like, let's just play hard and see it. So going to that game, everybody mindset, I don't care how it's gonna be, but we're gonna win this game. Me, like that game was personal to me because Balo from Mali, I'm from Mali, so I don't want to be the loser in that competition. Yeah, but yeah, we all have a mindset we're gonna win it. So my hope is we had to have that mindset every single day to keep going, and then we had talent to do it, and then we really good enough to be able to be in an NCAA tournament.
You have played against now a few different players in the conference and overall from Mali.
Yeah.
How much pride do you take in that and just seeing some of your fellow countrymen playing at this level? And I know you want to be the best, don't get me wrong, but just having that connection, that's got to be cool for you.
I mean, yeah, it's good. You know, I know a lot of them, and then we don't live far from each other, and then we all want to compete.
Right.
But, you know, like, when you know someone from your country, like, doesn't matter how cool you are, but when you're in the court playing against each other, yeah, you had to give it all.
Tell us about growing up in Mali. What was that experience like before you came here to play?
I mean, for me personally, it was different because I got raised by a single mom, and you know she's never fun, and she was raising me and my 4 other siblings. Not having nothing, it was different. You know, I had to just fight through a lot of things, and yeah, and I'm glad I'm here today in the U.S. to change my life.
When did you think about like basketball is my thing? You know, when did you fall in love with the game?
Well, my sister used to play basketball, so every time I saw her coming back from the practice, and then she have a basketball dribbling and stuff. One time I decided to do it, and I was like, you know what, this is fun. and I went. I went to, I don't even remember exactly the day, but like one time I decided to go to her club or something, and then the next day I was like, you know what, I'm quitting because there was a lot of running. Yeah, I think that's when I fell in love with basketball.
And your height helps too.
Yep. I mean, my dad was really, really tall. I didn't get to see him, but one time he was really tall.
Yeah.
So.
It works out in your favor. There's no doubt about it. You got the chance to go back home just not that long ago, didn't you? Within the last year?
Yeah, it was great. I'm glad I get to go home. You know, before that, I didn't went home for like 6 years. Yeah, and then I had a surgery. I didn't even tell my family about it. So when I went, they see that big scar on my knee, and my mom was like, "What's going on?" I was like, "Well, I had a surgery, but I decided to not tell you because you're gonna be worried about it."
Didn't want to worry her.
Yeah. If I would tell her, oh God, she'd probably be here by now.
Why'd you choose Oregon? Take us back in time. Why did you choose the Ducks?
Oh, that's a good question. I like that question. Well, when I was in high school, it was a lot of school recruiting me. So, I don't know, I think it was my junior year. My junior year, I have a knee problem. It was not like ACL or anything. It was just like patella tendon. Every other school back off of me. Oregon was the only one there. Coach Mike and Coach Harmon, they always called me, "Hey man, we want you. We love your game. We want you to be part of our family." So that's all I'm all about, like family, you know. End of the day, they got me, you know.
Yeah.
After I tear my ACL, they do everything for me to be able to be back playing basketball. So.
On behalf of all Duck fans, thanks for still being here.
Yeah, sure.
It's been fun to watch you play, Dante. I got to tell you, I could talk to you for probably an hour, but we got to get you to class. So I'm going to finish off. Just tell us, what's it going to take on this road trip and the rest of the season, Dante? You said you guys are talented enough to play in the NCAA tournament. What's the key to success down the stretch?
Well, the key is I'm going to start with myself. Like, I'm one of a leader, so bring your energy every day and then play hard, because if I play hard, my team is going to play hard for sure. And then think that's my main focus right now, to do everything I can, and then the team gonna follow, and then you just gotta play hard, because we all, like, everybody on my team know how to play basketball. We are good too, so it's gonna be fun, But I just gotta bring the energy every day, and then my team have to follow.
Love it.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming over, buddy.
Yeah, of course, man.
Appreciate it. I'll see you on the airplane.
Yeah, boom. See you there, man.
I'll see him on the airplane here in like an hour. As the Ducks are getting ready to take off.
He's such a nice young man.
Oh, he's a fabulous individual. And Folly Dante, could have talked to him for another 10 minutes easily, but just growing up in Mali, and just you heard him say he's just so happy being here, being a Duck. And, well, I think Duck fans happy that he's a Duck too, particularly after this last weekend, the way he's been playing a double-double against Arizona. Quick timeout. When we come back on Tip-Off Tuesday, presented by Toyota. Chuck Martin, Oregon men's basketball assistant coach, previewing the Bay Area trip on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Dear winter, Toyota's got 20 vehicles with available all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive, and that's more than any other auto brand. So you bring the action, and we'll bring the traction. Always Toyota. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer's websites as of 11/21/22.
At Mountain Dew, we believe you shouldn't take everything so seriously. Like not being able to keep up with all the latest internet memes, not serious. Not being able to log into your crypto account, serious. Not being able to remember your partner's favorite color, kinda serious. Not being able to remember your partner's eye color, very serious. Making sure you have plenty of Mountain Dew around when you're having a good time, serious. Borrowing a Mountain Dew from your friend, not serious. Borrowing one every day, that might be getting serious. Mountain Dew, the only thing we take seriously is to do the do.
Dear winter, Toyota's got 20 vehicles with available all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive, and that's more than any other auto brand. So you bring the action, and we'll bring the traction. Always Toyota. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer's websites as of 11/21/22.
You're listening to Oregon Basketball from Learfield.
Meet Ed, movie buff, animal lover, safe driver.
5 years of driving an ambulance teaches you a thing or two. If people knew what I know, lives could be saved. When I see a car trying to rush past a turning bus, I get concerned. You see, when big vehicles turn right, they have to swing wide to make the turn. And that's a lesson you don't want to learn the hard way. When trucks and buses turn, let's you and I wait. It's our roads. It's our safety.
Visit www.sharetheroadsafely.gov.
I've been driving trucks for a long time, and safety is my #1 priority. I know that my truck has huge blind spots. That's why I remember to check my mirrors often for smaller vehicles. Everyone can help keep our roads safe. Next time you're behind the wheel, try to avoid lingering in those blind spots. It can be dangerous. Let's all plan to share the road safely. Learn how at www.sharetheroadsafely.gov.
Back in the Country Financial Studio, it's Tip-Off Tuesday, presented by Toyota. Heard from Infali Dante, got Chance Gray and Kelly Graves on the women's side coming up ahead of the matchup with the Beavs. But before the Ducks travel this afternoon, if you're live with us in the 2 o'clock hour, I think still, almost 3 o'clock, Oregon getting ready to travel to the Bay Area for a 7 o'clock tip-off against Cal. Off that big weekend, assistant coach Chuck Martin, our conversation here in the Country Financial Studio. Coming off a really nice win against Arizona. Are you glad that I asked you to come on this week, Coach?
I was hoping on this week, yes. Of all the weeks, I'll take this one. I'll take this spot.
That's good. That's great. What went so right this weekend? I mean, what was maybe the turnaround point, I suppose, after Thursday heading into Saturday?
You know, we've had some good moments. Obviously, the game prior was not a good moment for us. But we've had good moments throughout the year. And I think, having a full roster helps. I'm not sure if people understand. Coach Altman's done an unbelievable job this season. We've had practices where we have not had enough guys, so we could not scrimmage and go up and down live 5-on-5. And that's been more common than not. And it was cool. It was great, but a little strange to see the entire team at practice prior to the Arizona game because we had not had that all year. So I think having Keyshawn back and Nate Biddle back and then obviously Jermaine back, that healthy group full roster, I think that made a difference.
What can it do for you in practice? And I asked this, and I should qualify this question, that I talked with Coach Altman about the fact that you actually can have a 5-on-5 that doesn't include, managers and various other individuals. What does that do for competition over the course of a season?
Well, I think the key word is competition, right? I mean, it elevates the practice physically, the speed of it, the decision-making. Iron sharpens iron. And Will has been tremendous, and he's been able to focus really well throughout the year. But if people came to practice early on, they would have a greater appreciation for Will and Dante and the rest of them because there was no one to go up against for the most part, and Coach was very cautious, and rightfully so. We didn't have a full roster, so we didn't scrimmage as much, we didn't compete as much. We just didn't have the bodies. So all of a sudden you have a full roster. There's more energy, there's more enthusiasm, there's more communication, there's more physicality. And that transferred over the other night.
Touching on Jermaine, you've seen him play more than we have as Duck fans.
Sure.
That was fun to watch.
He's fun to watch when he's healthy and when he's on the floor. And he's had really good moments throughout his career at South Carolina. He was tremendous in the Kentucky game, in the LSU game, in the Arkansas game. So he's had really good moments in his career. He's, for some reason, has not been able to put a season together. So sure enough, right before the Arizona game, I walked up to him and teased him. I said, "This is your time anyhow, January. Like, we could never get you on the court in December and November." And he just gave me a big smile and a hug, and I was happy for him because, like any other kid, unexpected injury 2 months ago. So he was down and wasn't feeling good about himself, and it's hard to recover from an injury, let alone him recover and perform the way he did the other night.
Yeah, that was fun to watch. And just hitting some shots, right? That does a lot for a team, doesn't
Absolutely, yeah. It eliminates double teams on Dante. It spreads the court out. It opens the court up. It gives us energy on the defensive end. It was good. It was a good night.
So let's ask the obvious question now.
Yeah.
You've seen a lot of basketball.
Right.
You ever seen a dunk quite like Dante's?
I'm telling you, I just think it caught everyone off guard because it happened so early in the game.
Yeah.
And it happened so quickly.
Yeah.
Now, we do see him in practice have moments like that, but it's in practice, and then you move on to the next drill. And because we practice our three-quarter press, and he's made that play before in practice. But it was just so shocking because, it was like 3 minutes into the game or 2 minutes into the game. It happened so fast, and it set the tone. So it was awesome.
So I'm glad that you said that it sort of like surprised you, because that's how I felt on the call. And I got to tell you, I don't think I've ever been as excited as I was to go up 4-2.
Yeah, I want to make sure I clarify this. It didn't surprise me that he's capable of it.
For sure, yeah.
That it happened so early.
Yeah.
Because, usually a play like that, it takes some time to kind of get up and down.
You feel each other out,
Feel each other out. But he's made that play in practice before. Usually when we go into our presses, it's an hour into practice. And because we have not had the bodies, he gets the steal and the play just kind of stops. But he completed the play. He got the steal, went the length of the court, and obviously the emphatic – and Fale Dante.
That's right.
The dunk.
Crowd was into it early. As a result, you know. So this is maybe the $1 million question. That's a huge win. Right?
Sure.
The rankings tell you that where you sit in the Pac-12 standings. We all know that. Like we're all keeping track of it, as I'm sure you all are. What's the key to making that win a season-turning win, or maybe like a season jump-off point win? How do you find success moving forward?
Well, I think as great as that game was, and it was a great moment for our team, but now it's behind us, and now we got to continue to stack wins and stack really good practices. So had practice yesterday, have a really good practice today, have a great shoot around tomorrow, and then go on the road and try to beat a conference opponent, which everyone knows, anyone in our business knows, anything and everything can happen and will happen, and it's not an easy thing to do. But if we can just continue to get better in practice every day and stack wins one by one, we'll look back on the season and see what happens.
How big is it to have the depth, too? You've touched on that, but moving forward, it does so many things for you.
Yeah, it gives you it gives coach options in the game. I think that's one thing that people just kind of dismiss. You know, I thought we had a really good win a month and a half ago against Villanova, and I don't think people realize, and it's a credit to our program, to coach, and our walk-ons. We had 2 walk-ons in the game.
That's right.
I don't think Villanova knew we had those guys were walk-ons. And so it gives us more options. It gives us depth. It makes practices more competitive. As a coach, you feel like your hands are not as handcuffed, because you can, if one guy's not having a good night, that's okay. We can go to another guy, next man up. So it does wonders for us. It really does.
I'm curious, just now that you've seen a lot of Pac-12 basketball this year, what are your thoughts on the league this year? What are the strengths? What are the weaknesses? I don't know, just overall general impressions.
You know, the atmospheres in the arenas have been tremendous. Obviously, in our place, it was rocking the other night. It was incredible. And I've been fortunate enough to work at some really neat institutions. And I actually said that to a number of people after the game. I said, this atmosphere is as good as any atmosphere I've ever been a part of. But some of the games that we've played on the road, they've been really neat. You know, Utah, UCLA, they've been neat atmospheres. Not as good as ours, but you know, not every league is like that. You know, the talent level is really good. The coaching is really, really good. It's been a fun journey thus far.
Cal, Stanford, early scouting report on the Bay Area schools. How do you find success against these guys?
Well, you know, I think it was like 10 days ago, Cal shot the cover off of it. I mean, they were lights out, and they're playing at home. They're feeling good, and you know, when I look at teams that are struggling, I never look at the record because they're always so much more capable, and they just weren't able to maybe finish the game out, or there were injuries early in the season. There's multiple reasons why they haven't, you know, succeeded maybe at the level that they wanted to. So they're dangerous. It's league play. It's on the road. Anyone can beat anyone. That's been proven over time for years and years in collegiate athletics. So we got to be focused and prepared and play with an edge.
Here's to some focus. Chuck Martin, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Thanks.
Yeah, the big key for Oregon, you know, you're going to get up for Arizona. The Ducks always get up for Arizona. The Ducks have been Arizona's thorn in their proverbial side. Now, Wednesday game, atmosphere probably not going to be great at Cal. Got to get up for that game. So, a tough test for Oregon men's basketball going on the road. Kind of stay in the conversation, Terry.
Yeah, and Stanford, that's been a tough place.
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, sorry I brought it up. We'll go to women's basketball. Is coming up next. I sat down with head coach Kelly Graves after this on Tip-Off Tuesday on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Once a Duck, always a Duck. That's OCCU. Since 1956, OCCU has been the credit union serving the University of Oregon community. With remarkable checking, My OCCU mobile banking, and nationwide ATM access. If you're a Duck, you belong at OCCU, where you'll find fewer fees, higher savings rates, and lower rates on loans. And lots of fellow Duck fans. Go Ducks. Join OCCU. Learn more at myoccu.org/remarkable.
Ready to get back in the game? Great news. The movement experts at Proactive Physical Therapy Specialists can help you find relief and results and keep you off the sidelines. With 16 convenient locations across Oregon and Southwest Washington. Contact Proactive Physical Therapy Specialists today at proactivepts.com to see a physical therapist. Proactive Physical Therapy Specialists, a proud partner of Oregon Athletics and trusted choice for keeping Duck fans in the game.
You're listening to Ducks basketball on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
I found hope in the midst of an overwhelming situation.
Alcoholism is a disease that can affect any family. Everyone suffers, but there is help and hope at Al-Anon Family Groups.
Al-Anon gave me my life back. I'm a better father and husband.
Are you in an overwhelming situation because of someone else's drinking? Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Local and virtual meetings are available. Maybe one could work for you. Call 1-866-200-0033 or visit alanon.org/hope.
Medicaid and CHIP offer free or low-cost health coverage for children and teens. Hospital and doctor visits, prescriptions, shots, and more are covered. That's peace of mind for parents if a child is sick or gets injured. And parents may now be eligible for Medicaid too, even if they've applied in the past. Enrollment is always open. Visit insurekidsnow.gov or call 1-877-KIDS-NOW. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
All right, welcome back to Tip-Off Tuesday. It's women's basketball. Terry Jonz with head coach Kelly Graves and coach a third split in the Pac-12. On the road, it's not so bad, but a couple of those have been at home. But your assessment of the weekend?
Well, I always like to give credit to the opponents. I thought both Washington and Washington State played really well. They played really hard. We were fortunate to win the Washington game. We weren't at our best necessarily. We played a good game. Yesterday against Washington State, it was just not our best effort defensively, and then we just didn't shoot the ball. We didn't rebound it very well, and even still had a chance to win the game. And, we've just got to be able to pull those out, and we didn't. I got to figure out what I'm doing wrong as a coach. I'm obviously not pushing the right buttons, and we've got, we don't have much of a margin for error with, 7 or 8 players playing. Everybody has to have kind of a pretty good game. We don't have the luxury of having a couple have tough games, and so I've got to figure out how to get us all going at the same time at both ends of the court.
Heck of a comeback, though, and I know you're proud of your kids for that. They dug a hole, but
yeah,
that comeback. 14 points with 4:16 to go, and you get able to tie it up.
Yeah, no, I told them that after the game. I was really proud of them. Listen, I'm being honest here. The day after, I'm reflecting, but at the time, I was really proud of the team. We showed fight. We didn't quit. We didn't give up. We battled right to the end, and yeah, like you said, that was just an amazing comeback. And then to have a chance to win the game after all that, and perhaps having won the game in regulation, that's still, it's not up in the air. It's been decided. But, I think that maybe that should have been handled differently. I'll just leave it at that because, of course, you can't say anything about, referees or anything like that. You can't hold them accountable. But anyway, but we can't do that at home if we expect to be in contention for a championship or even a top 4 seed in our tournament or the national tournament. You got to win those games at home, and we didn't.
India Rogers just had an off night against Washington on Friday, but boy, did she come back.
But that's who India is.
Yeah.
Look at our big games when we really need her. She comes through, and that's why we had the ball in her hands there at the end of the game. And she didn't have the shot herself, but made the good decision, and ended up giving it to Hina, who had a pretty good look. I was a little shielded, so I didn't see it. I knew there was a little bit of traffic, but it looked like it was a pretty decent game-winning look, and it just didn't go in. But yeah, Indy, that's who she is, and she's kind of funny before the game. She says, "Coach, I got you." And so I knew she was going to come out and have a really good game, and she did.
Yeah, and Chance Gray, who we're going to get to talk to here for Tip-Off Tuesday a little bit later, she had a great game, too, in front of Dad, grandparents from Ohio. That was fabulous.
It was. Her grandparents are, big-time political operators in the Cincinnati area.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Her grandparents are really impressive people, as his dad, and he's a great dad. He just understands. He gets it, He's played football at UCLA. He knows what it's like at a high level, at a championship level, and and so he's a good dad to Chance. And it was nice to see her have a great game for while they were here.
Well, should we bring up the consistency word again? It seems to be, Bev said something last night. Heard some of her sayings. I don't know whether they're Canadian or what, but there's always some wisdom in them. And she said, sometimes the best way to get around something is to go right through it. And I was like, okay. Sometimes I have to think about things, but that one I got. But it makes sense.
Yeah, it does. I don't know that. That's a deep level. I don't know exactly what she's talking about. But, yeah, it's just been, we show flashes of really great basketball, and then we have lulls, and, we have just defensively. When we struggle, it's because we have defensive lapses, and that's been our bugaboo. We're still one of the best offenses in the country, even though I don't think we had a great weekend by any stretch. Offensively, we didn't shoot it well, but we just, when it matters most defensively, we just don't seem to be at our best, and we've got to. And I know they're trying. I know we're trying. Our kids play hard. They want to do it, but it's just, has unfortunately not always been our best time late in games, in big games.
Yeah, offensive efficiency, as you said, you have been. But this weekend, the assists were down and the ratio.
And it's funny you say that, because that's one of the first things I look at when I look at the stat sheet after. And when we're at our best, we're, at about 62% of our baskets are assisted. And we were below 50% in both games, which means we're doing too much one-on-one. And we're not moving the ball the way we should. We're not getting it inside and kicking it out. We're not penetrating into the paint and kicking it out and making that extra pass. We're having to do it on our own. And so that's the first thing I look at.
Here as you get ready for Oregon State, but what do you want to see your team do? What are you going to work on this week? You're a little dinged up too.
We're a lot dinged up.
Yeah.
I don't know Philly's status. She might be out this weekend. Grace has played. She played both games this weekend, but it was clear that she's not the same. Right. Her ankle's hurt. It's nice that we just have the one game. And that's the one thing the Pac-12 has done right. They finally made it so we have kind of a week like this where you just play the one game. Finally. So we can hopefully get a little bit healthy this week for that one game on Friday, and then we'll probably take the weekend off, Saturday and Sunday, and really give them a nice break.
All right, you got Oregon State, got to go up to Corvallis. Nothing nicer than to win up there, but it's a tough team that you're facing. You had a heck of a game with them here December 11th, didn't you?
Yeah, good game. They're kind of in the same situation we are. They just can't find consistency. They of course, beat UCLA, a shorthanded UCLA, but they beat UCLA, and then, they lost both this weekend. I don't think – they probably haven't lost at home to both Washingtons maybe – ever, certainly in the Scott Rueck era. But anyway, we've got our work cut out for us. We've now beaten them up there the last, I think, 3 times, if I'm not mistaken.
That may be right.
Yeah, I think we've beaten them 3 in a row up there in Gill, and that's not easy, but we hope that that trend continues.
All right. Well, Coach, let's go. See if we can take it out on the Beavers. And we love the Beavers. They're nice people, but basketball-wise, we want to go get the win.
Yeah, of course we do. But we're 2 teams that are really searching for a win,
Yeah.
This is going to be kind of 2 desperate teams, so to speak.
Yeah, it made me think of Rich Brooks, the old football coach here. Of course, Rich Brooks Field, Autzen Stadium right next here to the Cass Center. Those situations you'd always say, 2 dogs, 1 bone.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
That's a great way to put it.
All right, Coach. Hey,
okay,
thanks
buddy.
for the visit.
Yeah, thanks.
Head coach Kelly Graves has, 2 dogs, 1 bone. Remember anybody? Well, you guys weren't around. You remember, Scott, right? Rich Brooks used to say that all the time. It's going to be 2 dogs, 1 bone. That's what it's going to be up in Corvallis. Well, Chance Gray, Pac-12 Freshman of the Week. Got a chance to sit down and talk with her. First of all, she's a great young woman, sharp, and not a bad basketball player as well. She's coming up next here on Tip-Off Tuesday. We'll be back with Chance after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Dear winter, Toyota's got 20 vehicles with available all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive, and that's more than any other auto brand. So you bring the action, and we'll bring the traction. Always Toyota. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer's websites as of 11/21/22.
All right, Pepsi-loving football fans, it's time we had a lesson in trash talk. And I'm not talking about that stuff that happens on the field. What I'm talking about is trash, and it's the only thing that belongs in your garbage can. No, recycling might not be as thrilling as converting a 4th and long, but next time you're thinking about throwing that Pepsi Zero Sugar bottle away, just cap it back up and pretend you're down by 6 with the recycling bin wide open. Know the difference? Make a difference. Be a team player and recycle. Visit PepsiTrashTalk.com to learn more.
Dear winner, Toyota's got 20 vehicles with available all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive, and that's more than any other auto brand. So you bring the action, and we'll bring the traction. Always Toyota. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer's websites as of 11/21/22.
You're listening to Oregon Basketball from Learfield.
The United States Deputy Sheriff's Association is a national nonprofit and the largest non-governmental provider of services to law enforcement. The USDSA assists city, county, state, and federal agencies with free safety equipment donations and officer survival training, along with cash donations to families of law enforcement officers who perish in the line of duty, college scholarships for the children of law enforcement, a citizen awareness program, and more. For more information on the USDSA and how you can help, visit usdeputy.org.
You're never completely ready to adopt a teen.
For late nights writing English papers.
For your teen's music taste.
For dinners where they talk more on their phone than with you.
For the first time, they call you mom.
You're never completely ready to adopt a teen, and you can't imagine the reward.
To learn more about adopting a teen, visit adoptuskids.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
All right, hi everybody, and welcome back to Tip Off Tuesday as we continue with women's basketball. And we have in the studio the Pac-12 Freshman of the Week, Chance Gray. Yay! And the crowd goes wild. Congratulations, Chance. Well deserved. How does that make you feel? I mean, all that hard work.
Makes me feel really good. Yeah.
Okay, we need to get your mic up just a little bit there.
There you go.
There we go. Yeah, makes you feel good, though, right? Yep. All that hard work you're putting in, and as a freshman, and now you can tell Grace, I got one too.
I know. She has to share a couple.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Well, fans like to get to know you guys, so let's do that. Let's start with your family, who I've met some. Carlton, your dad.
Yeah.
I met your grandparents yesterday after the game. But tell us about your family back in Cincinnati.
Big sports family. My dad actually played at UCLA. So football family. My sister played at Tennessee, played pro overseas in France. And my mom, hairdresser, so she's more on my girly side. My other sister, my mom's other daughter, girly side too. So it's a balance, but definitely more so of an athlete family.
All right. You play other sports?
I ran track in high school for 3 years. So
what, sprints?
Sprints, yeah. 4x1, 4x2, 4x4, open 4, open 1, open 2.
You know, they got a pretty good track team here.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
I'll stick with basketball.
You got enough to do.
Yeah.
When was it you decided, basketball's it? This is what I want to do and what I want to pursue?
Well, track was just to keep me in shape for basketball. So I played basketball. I've been playing basketball since kindergarten, 5 years old. And then, picked up track in high school just because it helped with my footwork and kept me in shape. So that was it.
All right. By the way, back to your family for a moment. Kelly told me this morning that your grandparents are very active in the community.
Yeah.
In Cincinnati. Tell us about that.
I had a great-grandfather who was a civil rights leader. So NAACP, he was one of those leaders. They were from Memphis. He was from Memphis, so he's a judge and a lawyer. He actually marched with Martin Luther King in honor of that today.
Yeah.
So, just very active in the community. My sister runs a nonprofit organization that I'm the co-founder of. So we just take part in the community, giving back to kids when we can. Ronald McDonald House, Boys and Girls Club, basketball camps and trainings, things like that.
So the nonprofit, tell us about that a little bit.
My sister kind of brought it upon us after just sharing her story. She suffered a brain aneurysm her freshman year of college after playing for Pat Summitt at Tennessee. So that kind of sparked her story. She wanted something to let people know about the Gray family and what we are behind just the name. So that's what it is. And then she involved me and her other sister on her mother's side, kind of made it a sister thing. And now we all kind of run it together, give each other impacts and what we need to do to help the community and the kids around Cincinnati where we're from.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. I didn't know all that. But I know about your sister, Amber, playing basketball.
Yeah.
And she helped coach you and Carlton, your dad, right?
Yep, high school.
Bringing you up.
Most of high school, yeah. My dad's been my coach pretty much like my whole life, so.
Yeah, and he's here, and you got that shot going yesterday, right?
Yeah, I give him some credit, for sure.
That must have been fun. Free time, what do you do? I mean, fans sometimes realize, some don't. When you got school going on, you got practice going on, it's 2 full-time jobs, really is.
Yeah.
But what do you like to do when you get a little bit of free time? What do you guys do?
We just honestly relax because that's what we have. We watch shows. I hang out with Kennedy a lot. We just like to do stuff around town when we can, go try new food places. I'm really into like fashion, that type of stuff. So just like looking at different ways and YouTube videos and things like that. It's kind of stuff I'm into. So. Yeah, it's my little girly side I get into off the court.
Academics. I know you just 1 term in, you're starting your 2nd term, but you know what you want to do. I know you want to go to law school because when we were back at Southern, you mentioned about that.
Yeah,
and talked
I do want to go to law school. Right now I'm majoring in journalism and with a minor in political science. So that's the path I'm taking. I just took a lot of this semester I'm taking a lot of journalism classes, English classes, writing classes, just trying to get on that track and stay in that course of things. But law school is definitely a goal, one of my few goals.
How did you like the visit to Southern? I thought that was just an incredible visit.
Yeah, especially the law side, like hearing all the history behind that was very interesting to me. But not knowing much about HBCUs and being African American was good for me just to learn that side of things that I didn't really know about.
Yeah, that was incredible for all of us, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Picking Oregon, you had a choice. You're number 7 recruit in the country. You had a lot of choices, but you liked it out here, your visit, and you decided Oregon. What was it about the Ducks?
After I took they were my first visit. So after I left from here, I kind of found myself comparing every other school to Oregon. So it was just nobody could live up to what they gave me in my first visit, and then relationships kind of came down to it. Felt like home and family here. So.
You and Grace have played together before.
Yeah.
I think your dad told me, for what, 4 years on a club team?
3 or 4 years, on the same club team with Bryce, Sports City U.
So you guys kind of know each other a little bit. Your game,
just a little
you
bit.
know each other. Yeah.
Yeah.
So who's the funniest on the team?
The funniest.
Who just makes you guys laugh all the time?
Taylor.
Hosendale.
Yes.
Oh,
Hose.
that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, she's definitely like the team goofball. She's hilarious.
What's it been like adjusting to, college life? You're far away from home, but college life and then D1 basketball. I mean, it's a lot to handle, but I think you're handling it well.
I would say I definitely got lucky. I came in with a great freshman, great team. Our team's a little bit smaller this year, so it's definitely helped build our chemistry a lot. Everybody's close. We're fortunate enough to actually have no team drama. Everybody hangs with each other off the court, on the court, great. So I got very blessed and lucky to have the team that I came in with this year for my freshman year. I feel like it couldn't have been any better.
Yeah, I can tell that because there's a lot of teams, almost every team says, we're family. But then when you get a couple losses or things go wrong, finger pointing starts. And I didn't see any of that with this team.
That's just our team. We try to keep I think in those type of times, that's when everybody has to come together. So we kind of know, and we know our goals, so that's what we're trying to stick to at the end of the day. We can't just go start finger pointing at everybody because that's not going to help your team at the end of the day.
Now, you're a natural point guard is what you've grown up as, and you got 2 pretty good ones right there with India and Tahina.
Yeah.
But what do you learn from them in watching them? Because one day it's going to be you here playing that position at this level. But you can really learn a lot from them, can't you?
Yeah, I think I am learning a lot. Just as India's obviously been going crazy, Tahina's just a great overall leader. So learning both aspects of them and what they do on and off the court, how they carry themselves off the court, what they do on the court skill-wise. Looking at how they come off screens, how patient they are with the ball in their hands, the reads they're making. I'm learning a lot from them. I watch them at all times. So, yeah, definitely people I look up to and want to have the same careers as them in the next couple of years.
You will. It's going to be fun to watch you, the Kennedys here, and Grace, and watch you guys the next 3.5 years or so, and watch what you guys do because you're fantastic already. And I know you're just going to grow more and more and more.
Thank you.
Watching Tahina and India, and you know they're older. You're the freshman.
Yeah.
Is it kind of hard to go, okay, I got to take my shot and be aggressive when you feel like maybe you need to defer to them? Is that difficult coming in?
Yeah, I would say in the beginning of the year I was kind of trying to find my role. Now I'm finding my role, good shots to take. My coaches want me to be aggressive, so nobody's really holding me back. The only person that can hold myself back is me. So that's kind of what I'm learning. I'm still adjusting, growing, trying to fit in, playing off the ball a little bit more, and now I'm back on the ball. So just learning to balance, but it's getting easier as every game goes.
Well, you hit a big three-pointer down the stretch against Oregon State the first time. It was here, the rivalry game. Now you get to go up there.
I know,
I'm a little bit different. How much are you looking forward to this week?
I'm excited. It's going to be a dogfight. We're both coming off of losses. Neither of us want to lose, so it's definitely going to be a good game to watch and be in the environment. Beavs environment I've never been in, so I'm sure it's a harsh environment, but I'm excited.
Well, Chance, thanks for coming and being a Duck. We really appreciate that. Thanks for coming over here. I know you got to get across campus and Kennedy bringing you here so we could have a chance to get to know you. Appreciate you so much.
Thank you for having me.
There you go, Chance Gray, the Pac-12 Freshman of the Week. She says hasn't been in that environment. They were at Arizona. Arizona was probably, their fans maybe a little more nasty than Oregon State, but it's going to be orange and black all over the place in Gill Coliseum. And it's fun. I mean, that's what it's all about. That's why you come to Oregon. You want to play big-time basketball, big-time football, whatever it is that you play. That's why these athletes come to Oregon. But isn't she a great young woman? Just a great young lady. And met her dad, met her grandparents after the game. Her dad, Carlton, who played in the NFL for 8 years. Yep, he is a pretty good player. And talked to him and coached her and has done a great job with her basketball-wise. Just in life. It was just a delightful young woman. All right, the Ducks play Friday at 8 o'clock, 7:30 with the pregame show. We'll have all the action for you coming up at Gill Coliseum. And the men, Wednesday, is Joey Mack heading out to the airport now. And they're going to be flying out here shortly from Eugene, heading down to the East Bay. They play Cal tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, 6:30 pregame show with Joey Mack. Saturday, Joey didn't want to talk about it, but they are at Stanford at Maples Pavilion, and that's at 8 o'clock tip-off coming up Saturday for the men. But a whole lot of fun. The Oregon State women's game here, it was 51-50 heading to the fourth quarter. Oregon State was ahead. So the Ducks outscored the Beavers 25-16 in that fourth quarter, and Chance hit a big shot, and that's when we kind of went, you know what, big moments don't scare her. She steps up to the free throw line, and as we were talking with Joey in the open, and Grace Van Sluten with 0.1 seconds left after the chaos of the clock and that situation where we thought maybe the Ducks won it, or did they? It was crazy. Bev and I, as we were calling the game, looking over, and we saw the official. We couldn't hear the whistle. It was so loud. Nice job, Duck fans, being loud. And I just saw his hands up, and I saw the ball go up, Elise Hurst, and it goes in. Did we just win, or we didn't? We did, and then it took a while to figure it out, and it's over. It's over. Go take it out on the Beavers, hopefully, is what we'll do. But it's going to be a tough game against Oregon State, but both teams need a win. 2 dogs, 1 bone, right, Rich Brooks? I agree with you. I love that saying. That's what it's going to be. Ought to be a whole lot of fun. There you go. Tip-off Tuesday. We will see you in Corvallis.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. He sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself.
For many military veteran caregivers, their caregiving journey starts earlier in life and lasts longer. Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one